current news podcast.
With Elu and Jesse.
Yes. All right, everybody, buckle up. Because today we're diving headfirst into a story that's got it all. Family drama, political intrigue, and a little bit of that Hollywood sparkle. Get this. Wonder Woman, like the OG Wonder Woman, Lynda Carter, is making headlines, but not for fighting supervillains. This time she's facing off against a political opponent. And get this, the opponent is her own sister.
Yeah, we talk a lot on this show about how politics can be a real family affair, and this one really drives that point home.
No kidding. So Lynda Carter, total icon, right? Lifelong Democrat, been pretty vocal about her beliefs over the years. And her sister, Pamela Carter, is running for office for the Arizona State House. And their political views, let's just say they're like oil and water.
Total opposite ends of the spectrum.
Totally. So Lynda decides, you know what? I'm not just going to sit on the sidelines here. I got to speak my mind. She comes out and she publicly endorses Pamela's opponents. And not just like a quiet little nod of support either, like a full-on, I cannot in good conscience support my sister kind of statement.
Which, you got to admit, is pretty unusual, even in this day and age.
For sure. And, we did our homework, right? We dug up this Daily Kos article from September 23rd, 2024 that lays it all out. Lynda's quoted saying, and this is a direct quote, "I have known Pam my entire life, which is why I sadly cannot endorse her for this or any public office."
I mean, ouch, right? That's gotta sting.
Yeah, clearly this goes way beyond just disagreeing on a few policy points. This feels deeply personal. Right. And then there's Pamela's response to all of this, which honestly just adds fuel to the fire. She's out there talking about how she has family support and even brings up having an end-time revelation that led her to her current beliefs.
It's a lot to unpack, Greg.
Totally. So let's unpack it. What do you make of Pamela's response? Is she being genuine? Is this calculated?
It's tough to say for sure, right? But you have to wonder about the timing and the language she's using, particularly that whole end-time revelation bit. It does feel a little, I don't know, maybe a little bit calculated, maybe trying to appeal to a certain segment of voters, especially those who might be drawn to her, shall we say, more conservative platform.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of her platform, she's running on this America First platform, which has become a pretty loaded term in recent years. For our listeners who might not be totally up on all the political jargon, can you break down what America First actually means in this context?
Sure. So America First is all about, putting America first. It prioritizes American interests, often advocating for things like bringing back manufacturing jobs, stricter immigration controls, that kind of thing. It gained a lot of traction during a certain presidency.
Yeah, no need to name names. We all know who we're talking about.
Right. And so it's a platform that definitely still resonates with a sizable chunk of the population.
Okay, so we've got these two sisters, totally opposite ends of the political spectrum. One's running for office, the other one's publicly denouncing her campaign. It's like a soap opera, but with real-world consequences. So let's talk about those consequences, especially in the context of this specific race in Arizona's 4th District. Who exactly is Lynda supporting, and what's at stake in this election?
Right. So Lynda is backing Kelli Butler and Gresham, both Democrats. And what makes this district interesting, what makes it so significant, is that it's always a close race. It's one of those districts that could go either way.
So Lynda's endorsement could actually tip the scales.
It very well could, especially since, let's face it, she's Wonder Woman. People listen to Wonder Woman.
That's for sure. It's not every day you have a superhero weighing in on a local election. So, as we wrap things up here, what do you think is the key takeaway for our listeners? What does this whole Wonder Woman versus, not Wonder Woman, but her sister situation tell us about the state of politics today?
Well, I think it highlights just how divisive politics have become, that it can drive a wedge even between family members who've known each other their entire lives. It's a reminder that we all have our own beliefs, our own values, and sometimes those values clash, even with the people we love the most.
Absolutely. It really makes you think about where you draw the line, right? Like, how do you navigate those tough conversations with family members when you fundamentally disagree on something as important as politics?
Exactly. It's not easy, and I don't think there's an easy answer.
Definitely not. But maybe, just maybe, this story can get people talking, Maybe it can be a starting point for some much-needed dialogue, even if it's just within our own families.
That's my hope, at least.
Mine too. Well, folks, as always, we want to hear from you. What do you make of this sister act gone political? How would you handle a situation like this in your own family? Hit us up on social media, send us an email, smoke signal, whatever works for you. We'll catch you all next time.
See that?
Turn the dial to the daily news. Turn the dial to the daily news. Turn the dial to the daily news. Bringing voices, headlines, and shoes. We turn the dial to the daily news.